Come on in, come on in, come on in. All geeks are welcome in this space. Let's learn together and seek his face. I'm Lem Philyaw, aka Bad Gamerly, your host for the Sound Maiden podcast, sponsored by LifePromotions.org. God, Games, and Geekery gives us an opportunity every month to chat about the crossroads of our passions and our faith. I can't wait to learn and discuss with you. Hello, folks. I'm so excited to be back. All right, so we're sitting here almost to 50 episodes. Man, we got to do something special for 50 episodes. I'm not sure quite what that is going to be yet. I have an idea. We're going to hold off, though. You guys, I want to thank Life Promotions, specifically Quake. I want you to go to quakeevent.com. Guys, go check out the youth ministry weekends. They go from January to March. I'm so excited. We're going to be all over the country in person. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a G3 workshop, and I'm working on something a little special for, well, last time we did in-person Quake, we had something special for the gamers. I got something in mind. Maybe we can do for the gamers and the non-gamers together that will be very enjoyable. It's so awesome. So let's talk about my month. What have I been up to? I started getting into I've been playing a lot more Fortnite, you guys. This new season, though, this Cube season that just started maybe a couple weeks ago by now. I'm not too sure on it yet. It started off with a lot of gold. You're getting a lot of gold for stuff, but not XP. And how else am I supposed to earn the awesome skins? Right? Like Fabio Sparklemane. You heard me. Fabio Sparklemane. Anthropomorphic unicorn. I need that in my life. What about Chipansky? Right? Yeah. He's a space monkey. Sorry, space ape. I'll get into detail about that later. Guys, and then the big guy is Carnage, of course, the new movie coming out. By the time this is out, it'll have just come out. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. That one, so they put Carnage in the game as a skin, and I'm super excited about playing Fortnite again. A few new skins that I've purchased a couple of skins, earned some V-Bucks for them, and I'm starting to get back into photography, which is the in-game photography of Fortnite. And so that's been fun. I've got a friend that is getting back into it. He took a hiatus, and now he's back into it. He's really encouraging me. He's a little bit of a mentor for me in that way. And what's awesome, another awesome thing is he's a believer, and we were playing the other night, and he just said, I feel like I need to pray for you. And I was like, yeah, you do. And it was just great. It was so awesome. Drew, I love you, buddy. Guys, what else have I been playing? I've been playing some Kena Bridge of Spirits, the new game that came out from Ember Lab Studios. It's a little indie game, and it looks amazing. Look up Ember Lab and look what they did for, I think it was Majora's Mask. They did a Majora's Mask, I think, short on YouTube, and then they built a game. The game, while there are a few things that I would have changed with it, I would easily give it a solid 9 out of 10. Really hard 8 for sure, but I could see some arguments for 9. I've been really enjoying that. Started up Shadow of War again, which is based off of the J.R.R. Tolkien Lord of the Rings series. So that's been good. Beyond Blue, oh my goodness. Beyond Blue is an absolutely stunning, I don't want to say simulation game. You go underwater, you go into the ocean, and you're studying these animals like whales and rays and turtles and fish, and it's beautiful. Been playing that on the PC. also been playing some Disney Infinity 2.0 on the PC. Yeah, we went back to the Marvel series. Playing through the Avengers piece right now. Uh, Again, like I said, playing some Kena Bridge of Spirits, and they have a photo mode. It's adorable, absolutely adorable. Uh, but just it tackles some serious stuff too, which is really neat. So, um, and then back, like I said, back into the game photography for Fortnite. What am I reading? I am reading the Marvel Universe. I know that sounds weird, but there were some comics back in the 80s that you could actually read through and learn about you could learn about the different characters that are in the Marvel universe. So yeah, it's been a really cool thing to do. And one of the reasons I've been doing that is because it's something I'm doing on TikTok right now. I hooked up with this group, the Acme group. If you're a fan of any of the old Bugs Bunny cartoons, you guys know that there was a company that made all of Wile E. Coyote's uh gadgets. They called the Acme Group. Well, this group of TikTokers has taken on that personality, but it's not just Wile E. Coyote. They span all the fandoms. And I started to get on the fun being the Acme PR guy. So I'm over there just, hyping up other all the characters and making suggestions for teams, and it's a lot of fun. If you want to check it out on TikTok, it's hashtag Acme PR or hashtag Acme Talk. Um, but I'm the new guy there. Actually, I'm one of the new people. I actually helped bring somebody else in that's a little newer than me, but I'm the new guy there, and so I'm very noobish at this, and so while I'm having a great time, I'm not sure exactly what that looks like. What should I be doing? I wanted to talk about being a noob to our friend Lucas. Let's get right into that. Fantastic. Guys, as promised, we brought him back because I know you love him. I know you love him. You love him when he's on the stream. You love him when he's on the show. Lucas, the man Tuttle. What's up, Lucas?
Hey, Lim. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right.
How's my favorite bad gamer elite?
I don't know. I'll ask him when I see him. Lucas, we've been talking about being a noob.
I feel like I'm a professional noob.
Tell us a little bit about being a noob. What like the when you just knew that you knew.
Man, I first off, let's just talk about video games. Is that what we're talking about here? Or are we talking about life?
Let's talk about video games.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been a noob my whole life. I've always loved video games, right?
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed it, always been drawn to it, but I've always been perpetually terrible at them, right? I have never been good at video games. And I always kind of got concerned in my head a little bit that I'm like, man, I love video games, but I'm not great at them. Am I allowed to love them as much as I do? I thought I have to be good at them at some point. And it feels like every time I pick up a game, it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot how bad I am at video games. And it takes a long time for me to learn it and to get good at it. And so, yeah, I feel like, I think of Gran Turismo way back in the day with the PlayStation 2. I'm thinking of, we'll talk about Halo, I think, in a little bit, but I'm always bad at Halo, one of my favorite video games. In the middle of Hades right now, a rogue-like that I've never played. I've never played a rogue-like before, and man, I am getting beat down right now.
All right, so how does that, you talked a little bit about Halo, and you've told me this story before, and I think everyone needs to hear this, especially with today's topic of being a noob and being a noob in Christ even.
Sure.
But yeah. I think that this really leads into that.
Okay, yeah. So the year was, I don't even know what year it was. It had to have been 2002, 2001. I don't know when Halo came out, but I do know I grew up playing a lot of GoldenEye or Perfect Dark on the N64, right? And that's a single joystick um, controller that you would use to do all of your movements forward, backwards. They did use the C-pad on the 64 to strafe, and eventually people got to the point where you could strafe with the C-pad on the 64 controller. I never really did that. And then Halo came out on the Xbox, the dual joystick controller. And I just could not get the hang of it. I was terrible at the dual joystick. I would have to keep my thumb forward on my left to go forward and then use my right thumb to kind of control where Master Chief was aiming. And it was brutal. At this time, I went down to college, played with some friends, and I got destroyed. I couldn't figure it out. And it was really, really bad and embarrassing, to be quite frank. But at home, I got an Xbox, I got Halo, and then I just played the campaign mode on repeat until I could do it on normal, and then I could do it on heroic, and then I could beat the game on legendary,
Yes.
and then I was able to beat the game on legendary fairly easily after what felt like months and months and months of practice. And I wasn't trying to get good at the game to beat my friends because we didn't play multiplayer. This was before live was a thing. So if you could play together, it was over a network, right? And you don't really like a LAN party, as the kids call it. And finally, I got back with these friends that destroyed me earlier in my freshman year of college, and I was actually quite good at this point, and I put them down quite hard to the point where they didn't want to play with me anymore, and
Oof.
that felt pretty good. And so to move from a noob to somebody that they thought was pretty good at the game was kind of an awesome moment for me. So much so I went back home after my 2 years of college down in Florida, and I played with my buddy RJ, who went to UW Eau Claire, and I played with him, and he thought I was really good, that I would not just be good for a small Christian school in Florida, but I would be good at a giant private school like UW Eau Claire. So I got pretty awesome. I felt pretty good about this, and then I went off to college at North Central University up in Minneapolis, and I was excited to play. And like all the dorm rooms are all networked together, so anyone that plugged into the wall could do, a North Central LAN party at all times. And I was ready to throw down. And let me tell you what happened the first time I jumped in.
Yeah.
I got destroyed. I got destroyed in a way that made me feel like the very first time I picked up an Xbox controller, that I didn't even
Dude.
know how dual stick controllers worked. And I was just embarrassed. And I was a noob all over again at a game that I thought I was quite good at. The truth is, there was a whole nother level. And by the end of my time at North Central, I was pretty good. I got up there. Never a first place guy, but I was able to compete and hang tough with these guys. And now, Lem, it feels like every time I pick up a new Halo, from Halo at that time, Halo 1 to Halo 2, Halo 3, 4, 5, and I'm sure Infinite, it's like I'm learning a new game all over again, and I am terrible at a game that I love tremendously.
Well, how? I mean, we've been talking about um, those noobs in our faith, and that
Sure.
sometimes they're not treated super well. Just like, I don't know if you got any smack talk for coming in thinking you were the best, then
Correct. And I'm a trash talker. Let me know this. I love trash talking. That's why I do what I do, is so I can trash talk people. Yeah, and I got embarrassed.
so I mean, so we have some people that come in, that that come into our faith, and they're given the instruction of, well, go figure it out.
Hmm.
All right, yep, you've accepted Jesus, go figure it out.
Yeah.
How can we, as Christians, make sure we're not QQ noobing?
Yes. So I think this is an important thing. I think especially here in America, right? Like we have this tendency to figure it out, pull yourself up from your bootstraps. If what do we say in Dark Souls, Lem? Get good, right?
Yeah.
Like that's, hey, I need some help. Here's a tip: get good.
Ugh.
And I do think there is a tendency that we apply this in all areas of life, including Christianity, where there's a new believer and they might be struggling in their faith or not understanding a particular scripture, or maybe there's a sin that they really don't know it's a sin, or they don't know how to let go of this sin of theirs, and they need help. And our response to them is get good, or you suck, or you're a sinner, or and we don't take time to walk alongside these players, these noobs, so to speak, to help coach them so they can get onto the more important, the deeper scriptures and the deeper relationship with God. And so we just kind of leave them hanging, going, "Hey, no,
Right.
you're gonna sin. I'm out. I'm not willing to walk with you or work with you. You
Ugh.
gotta get good." And I think it's a big deal for older, more mature Christians to walk alongside new believers and say, "Hey, this is." Because Lem, are you perfect? Let's just be honest here.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Yeah, I mean,
My handle is Bad Gamer Elite.
but what's your Christian gamer handle? Is your Christian handle Bad Christian Elite?
It's good. Could get better.
But how long have you been following Jesus?
Since I was about 6 years old and recommitted when I was 17.
And you would think you'd have it figured out by now, correct?
I mean, if it was like walking, because we're walking with Christ, right?
Yeah. But do you see how, like, even though you're a lifelong Christ follower, that you still struggle, you still stumble. And so when we walk alongside noobs, believers in their faith, man, it's not supposed to be this thing where it's like, yeah, I've been doing this for so long and I'm good. It's like, no, man, I've been there. I remember what it's like. I remember to be zealous for the Lord and to still stumble and to still struggle. Follow me. Walk with me. I make mistakes too, but we're going to do this together. And to, as a partner, as a friend, as just like, man, we hope to hit those guys in ranked games that are willing to take time to, like, no. If you take this route, that's why you're getting headshotted, because you're going down the wrong alley. Go down this alley on the outside, or hey, make sure you don't stand on the perch top because people see you there. Hide in the stairwell next to it, because that's where you're really going to be able to take proper snipe shots. And in real life, we need that too. We need people to kind of coach us, like, yeah, of course, it seems like this is the way you should go, but it's really not, and this is why. And to kind of take your experiences as a more veteran gamer, more veteran Christian, to walk with those that have just begun their faith. Or let's just be honest, sometimes I love Halo 3 is one of my favorite games of all times, and I am terrible at it. And I still need people to coach me and walk with me. And so we never arrive in our faith, and we're always growing, and we're always trying to expand, and we're always trying to be who God's called us to be. But we need to do it together, because on our own, we're going to fall short again and again.
Dude, thank you so much for that word. That's fan-friggin-tastic.
Yeah, of course.
Guys, you can find Lucas with us sometimes streaming on the Twitch channel.
Let's go.
But you can also find him at several of the Quakes this year that we have planned. Check out, what is it? QuakeEvent.com?
QuakeEvent.com, because some company sniped Quake Events, plural, and they want $4,200 for the letter S.
Wait, did that just go up?
Yes, it went up $1,200.
Wow. All right. So if anybody wants to donate $4,200,
we'll buy the letter S for sure.
Thanks, Lucas.
Yeah, Lem, have a wonderful, wonderful time. Love you, buddy.
Love you too. Hey, Lucas, thank you so much for spending time with us. Guys, I want to take us to Mark chapter 12, verses 28 to 32. So that's the book of Mark, New Testament, chapter 12, verses 28 through 32. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given a good answer, he asked them, of all the commandments, which is the most important? The most important one, answered Jesus, is this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, with all your strength. The second is this. Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Well said, teacher, the man replied. You are right in saying that God is one and there is no other one but him. To love with all your heart, with all your understanding and with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself is more important than all burnt offerings and sacrifices. I just want to bring this to your attention, you guys. If you are new in your walk, or if you're in a new day in your walk, we all have been noobs. And this being the number one, the most important thing, love God. And how do you show that you love God? You love others. Love your neighbors as yourself. And I personally would challenge you to love your neighbors better than yourself. Because I know sometimes it's hard for me to love myself. But this is so much more important than the burnt offerings and sacrifices. This is so much more than, while we don't do burnt sacrifices, this is so much more than your volunteering. This is so much more than giving money. This is so much more than all these things that hey, look at me, world, this is what I'm doing. This is so much more important than that, guys. Now, while loving your neighbor could mean that you volunteer, think of why you're doing it. Is it for you? Is it for show? Or are you truly trying to love your neighbor? Guys, I want to challenge you this month to think about, how can you love your neighbor? How can you help the noob in your life and showing them how to love their neighbor? Guys, you can find us right on all of the socials. Well, maybe not all the socials, but a lot of them. You can find us on Twitter as God Games Geekery, Instagram as God Games Geekery, uh, TikTok. Guys, we're God Games Geekery on TikTok. And on Twitch every Thursday, 4 p.m. Central to 7 p.m. Central. Twitch.tv/God Games and Geekery. If you can, if your app allows you to, why don't you write yourself a review of this podcast? Maybe do a rating. Let us know what we can do better. Hey, you know what? If you want to email me, you can email me to let me know what you think and how we can do this, how we can do this whole better. That's badgamer@lifepromotions.org. That's badgamer@lifepromotions.org. I cannot wait to hear from you. And you can even send us some prayer requests. Speaking of which, as of recording, our buddy Vetstone is in the hospital. According to his wife, he's not doing well. Don't want to get into too many other details, but he's not doing well. So please, please, please keep him in your prayers. Keep his family in your prayers. We love you, Vetty. Guys, thank you for being here. And remember, you are geeky. You are loved. Peace.